I'm your host, Lola. Go ahead and grab your smoothies, your coffees, as you see by the title, what we're going to be discussing today. And we'll be right back. Larry Hoover Sr., a name that echoes through the streets of Chicago and the halls of America's justice system. To some, he's a notorious gang leader. To others, a symbol of hope, rehabilitation, and political activism behind bars. Today, we dive deep into his story, the rise, the fall, and the complicated legacy of Larry Hoover Sr. Larry Hoover Sr. was born in 1950 in Jackson, Mississippi, but his story really begins in the streets of Chicago. Growing up during a time of intense social and economic struggle, Hoover found himself drawn into the city's gang culture at a young age. In the late 1960s, Larry Hoover co-founded the Gangster Disciples, a street gang that quickly grew to become one of the most powerful and organized groups in Chicago. The gang developed a strict code of conduct and developed the motto growth and development, emphasizing not just power, but its political awareness and community uplift. Hoover's leadership was seen by some as visionary, steering the gang toward more than just street violence, towards social and political activism, but others viewed it as a strategic move to maintain control over illegal enterprises. In 1973, Larry Hoover's life took a dramatic turn. He was arrested and convicted for murder, receiving a life sentence. This marked the beginning of a long legal battle that would eventually span for decades. Hoover was sent to serve time in some of the nation's toughest prisons, including ADX Florence, the Supermax facility known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies. Despite being behind bars, Hoover maintained influence outside prison walls. In 1997, he was federally convicted for continuing to run a criminal organization from inside prison, leading to an additional sentence of 45 years. Authorities argued that Hoover's reach extended far beyond his cell. Despite his imprisonment, Larry Hoover's influence didn't fade. The Gangster Disciples began to shift their message from violence towards political engagement and community development. Hoover promoted the ideal of growth and development, encouraging members to seek education, political power, and economic improvement. In some neighborhoods, this shift brought a new sense of hope. Community programs aimed at reducing violence and providing resources to youth became more common, with many crediting Hoover's leadership from behind bars for the change. But critics argued that these efforts were a facade to maintain control over illegal activities and influence city politics, casting doubt on Hoover's true intentions. Larry Hoover's name isn't just spoken in Chicago's streets. It echoes through hip-hop culture across the world. Artists like Kanye West, Drake, Rick Ross have all referenced Hoover in their music, bringing his story to a global audience. In 2021, a star-studded concert was held in Chicago to raise awareness and support for Hoover's clemency efforts. The event sparked intense debate. Supporters saw it as a call for justice, while critics argued it glorified a convicted criminal. In recent years, Larry Hoover's story entered the national spotlight again as celebrities and activists pushed for his release. In 2021, despite high-profile legal efforts including Kim Kardashian's involvement, clemency was denied by the federal government. Public opinion remains deeply divided. Families of victims strongly oppose his release, arguing that justice must be served, while supporters claim Hoover's incarceration is excessive and politically motivated. The debate touches on a broader issues of criminal justice reform. the power of redemption, and what justice truly means to America. This is definitely one of those situations with no easy answers. On one side, you have victims and families who want closure and justice. On the other, people arguing for second chances and systematic reform. What's your take? Should Larry Hoover get a second chance at freedom, or is the sentence justified? Larry Hoover's legacy continues to spark conversations, challenging us to rethink how we define justice and redemption in America. As of May 2025, President Donald Trump commuted Larry Hoover Sr.'s sentence. Larry Hoover Sr.'s story is one of complexity, a tale of power, influence, and controversy, and the blurred lines between crime and activism. From the streets of Chicago to the nation's toughest prisons, his legacy challenged how we understand justice, leadership, and redemption. Thank you guys for tuning in. Larry Hoover's story is definitely layered, and I want to hear what you think. Is he a symbol of hope and change, or a criminal who should remain behind bars? Drop your thoughts in a comment below. If you find this documentary eye-opening, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to LOLA'S reaction channel for more deep dives like this. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and we'll see you in the next video, Cafe Fam.